RagnaroK, sOs, Zoun, 2021 GSL Season 2, Code S. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, Live. 2021 GSL Season 2.
Great music. Is this a category of music that's kind of epic? Like something's about to happen, like all the Marvel heroes are coming together to get ready to fight the bad guys. Is there a category for that? Is there a Spotify playlist for stuff like this?
Oh, there definitely is. There definitely is, yeah.
Somebody let me know on Twitter.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me I need to have some kind of...
I remember TLO used to listen to a lot of stuff like this.
I feel like TLO just listened to classical music. Where he was like, smart people listen to classical music, so I think I'm a smart person, so I gotta... No, you're right. TLO did listen to classical, but yeah, I need to get a playlist of like the epic music.
Yeah. I used to have a bunch of it on my computer when I lived in America because it was like I'd listen to it, get kind of pumped up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so we've got a PvP. Old SOS is back.
Yeah.
The two-time world champion, him and Dr. Disrespect. Now, SOS has not been the player that he was in the last, I want to say, 2.5, 3 years.
No, that's for sure.
And
he's had a much harder time.
He's going up against young Zoun.
Yeah, he is coming up real fast right now. Definitely kind of, I would say the Protoss that we're looking towards to maybe take over the mantle of Toss.
The Percival of Protoss in a way. Like, he's the new guy. He's younger. I think Zoun's a little bit more established now that we've casted a couple seasons of him.
Yeah.
I remember the first day that Zoun was in the studio, and we were like up here in our little caster perch trying to figure out where he was. Oh, there he is. That's the new guy. We were like, oh, he's kind of stylish with his clothes. He seems like a cool guy. Remember that?
That's how we judge people,
Yeah.
For sure. Actually, Prince was the most stylish of the new players.
That was true.
That guy was dressed well.
He was dressed to win GSL.
Yeah, and that's when I saw how well he was dressed, I'm like, yeah, there will be a cannon rush tonight.
Blackbird, by the way, guys, we're going to start this game PvP. Finally, we got some Protoss in GSL. All right, let's go. No, actually, let's get those camera shots. I want to hear that guy singing a little bit more.
No, I know. So long. It's like we get in and there's cannons actually hitting a probe. I'm like, what?
Let's let the song finish, actually, and then...
Blink is halfway done.
Yeah.
SOS.
We see the end of a cannon rush that failed. I'm like, sorry, everybody. Oh, keep those eyes up in SOS. All right, let's keep that camera on him a little bit longer. Let's...
Alpha X, Zoun.
We've had a lot of great games on this map already. It is uniquely shaped in that you're both starting in the bottom right and kind of grow into the northern section of the map. Hopefully we have a long PvP here. Sometimes PvP can just be the quickest matchup there is.
It's likely, I would say, that it's going to be longer on this map, though, right?
Because I think so, yeah.
When you have those ramped naturals and they make their gates down there, it's like you kind of just... You take most of the possibility of dying
unless
to
you have
one base out.
A very special rush that's engineered to punish that. But yeah, I think you're right. When you have high ground natural bases, you're pretty safe.
Yeah, it's like, the thing is your economy gets so big off of 2 base, you get so many units and so much tech, that it's really hard to just finish it. So it's just the game becomes a little bit bigger. It's a bit of probe harassment on both sides, of course. Oh, they're all tied up 3-3 so far. Not too surprised to see. What do you think about this group for SOS overall?
I think it's honestly a tough group for SOS.
Yeah?
You know, I've been pretty public about it, but SOS was always my favorite player. Yeah. You know, throughout the decade plus of casting StarCraft 2, I think I probably had the most fun casting SOS's games because it really did make me think about the game in a different way. I think a lot of people could probably agree with this. But I have had to basically change the way I cast him a little bit because he has not had the same success. He's still the same player, man. He's still had phenomenal strategies that we just don't see anybody else get close to thinking up, but he doesn't have the success rate. And I think some of that is that people are so good now that, you know, it's kind of hard for him to run circles around them. And I think there's a 50-50 chance he gets out of this group, to basically answer your question.
Okay.
I think he
50-50?
should beat
That's
Murad.
actually pretty reasonable if you think he has 50-50.
Well, I think that Zoun may be a better PvPer. By the way, this Adept getting inside here is pretty big. Sniping 3 probes already.
Yeah, I don't have too much faith in SOS's PvP just right now for some reason. Like, there's times where he looks really amazing, and sometimes he's really off. He's very hit or miss, kind of in all the matchups. I think his PvT is pretty good right now. I almost never like his PvZ for the last few years. Like, I just, I'm not a big fan. But the thing is, RagnaroK, like, he might not even play RagnaroK tonight, right? Like, if he beats Zoun, like, maybe he just gets out in first place. It's really reasonable. It could happen. All right, so we have Phoenixes on both sides here. It's kind of a funny little back and forth. This is a great micro from Zoun. Great micro there.
And now hitting this pylon up here.
That's annoying.
This
Look at this. He
actually
actually moved
could be a problem.
He moved his Zot forward to take hits. Now the 3 Phoenixes can push this back. Gonna swoop back in, try to take this down.
He's still targeting that pylon. Now, I don't know exactly who wins this race, but if this pylon is killed before the battery can heal it,
that's an issue, isn't it?
That's going to be a problem. Yeah, he's going to get it. Look at this. And you can see that you can see that in the last second, SOS is like, oh my god, I didn't math this out perfectly.
No.
He did it mid-warp gate.
Wow.
That is a pretty incredible blow early PvP.
Yeah,
that's a big hiccup to everything.
You know what we're going to see, Tasteless? They're both adding extra Stargates. So
Phoenix
it's been
Wars.
a while. It's been a while, but yeah, we're going to see Mass Phoenix versus Mass Phoenix. Now, for those of you who don't remember Mass Phoenix versus Mass Phoenix, it's one of the worst things in the game. It's like insane because it gets down to the point where like literally just making Nexuses and Pylons in the middle of the map is the right move. Unless someone gets ahead in Phoenixes, because then they win.
Well, Zoun pounced pretty quickly there. And the problem for right now for SOS is he's closer to Zoun on his side of the map, so the reinforcements get there a little bit more quickly. The Phoenix count overall, that's the kills.
It's close enough that I think no one's going to die.
Yeah, so I think SOS has got the right idea, though, getting the fleet beacon here. I believe the last time we casted Phoenix versus Phoenix Artosis, it was SOS.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Yeah,
and he won that some amazing flanks with it and stuff. But like, the thing is, Stargate was like the best opener for a long time, and Phoenix's like wrecked Oracles. Now that has changed. Now that Oracles take extra damage from Stalkers and everything, and Phoenixes don't deal as much to them. So it's like it basically we don't get it as much anymore. What was it? Like Oracle got changed to Armored, right? Mm-hmm. So that was one, in my opinion, one of the smartest single changes in any patch ever, because it fixed the Phoenix versus Phoenix meta. It like disappeared basically, because you didn't instantly lose if you had an Oracle and they had a Phoenix. But somehow we got into this here. It's a rare thing to see, but it turns into like mass Nexus, and eventually you even see things like Mothership. Occasionally someone will try to do something like go into Blink, but if your opponent figures it out, they have like 4 more Phoenixes in you.
Yeah, they've actually got a pretty big window to come in there and do damage.
Yeah, and once you get over 3 bases of gas, like once you get up to the 3 bases of gas and then possibly above that, you can do things like try to sneak in like Archons, because Archons are the one unit that Phoenixes literally can't touch.
Whoa. He's going to come in here and actually trap this. Now, Zoun seems to be pretty confident he can win this. Let's see if that's actually the case. He is doing better targeting here, but whips back around here. I think SOS is pretty good at pulling away.
SOS has that beautiful range.
Yeah, the range upgrade makes a big difference.
Yeah, he's up 2 Phoenixes right now. Quicker 3rd base from Zoun.
Can he come in here and just flatten this? I think
with the overcharge, you do have to be a little bit careful.
We see Zoun now getting that upgrade as well here, but
this could turn into a pretty crazy game. Yeah, I remember like at the peak of, there was like 2 different PvP metas that we had that were like pure Phoenix. Like just about, you know, most games were Phoenix versus Phoenix, 2 separate times, and like both times it kind of evolved into things like you put pylons out in the middle of the map for scouting, and then like a player might send a Zealot out to bait lifts from the Phoenix so their Phoenixes can run in and get the first volley and then win. So
yeah,
it turned into like really weird stuff. Sometimes you see people like put cannons down kind of randomly there because Phoenixes can't do anything against that.
Yeah, it's a funny feature of this matchup is that once both players start doing this, they basically cannot stop.
Yeah.
Like they are destined to keep making Phoenixes because the transition out of it is too violent and risky, and too easily punishable. So I mean, this is, you know, honestly, I'm surprised we don't get this more often in PvP, considering how often one person ends up getting a star.
Honestly, people don't even want to play this most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, even if you think you're better than your opponent, so many things can go wrong here. A lot of times it feels like it's outside of your control. So I've seen people actually take weaker paths when it starts to turn out to Phoenix versus Phoenix. Like I mentioned, some people will throw down a Twilight and just get Blink and go like 4-gate Stalkers with it.
Yeah.
And just try to change it up. Here they're both being very brave individuals. And
very
they're just
brave.
massing their Phoenixes.
Stunning and brave.
As truly they should. That's beautiful in a way, isn't it? I'm kind of surprised we don't have the +1 air attack on the way here for SOS.
Yeah, you would think like that would have been kind of a default go-to.
Yeah, but
right?
he's up 7 Phoenixes right now, which is pretty insane. He can literally like right-click across the map and probably win if he keeps them stacked together.
Yeah.
But this is why you see things like shield batteries and photon cannons as well. And there's the mothership from Zoun. And that is actually, that's a very good thing to do, because while the Phoenixes can kill the mothership, the Phoenixes that are underneath the mothership will destroy them in that time. The mothership's health is very high.
Mothership is way too beefy.
Yeah, yeah. So it becomes really silly where you both have that and then you start throwing out cannons, and then it's like you might. Yeah,
I think he's going to go for the kill here. I actually think SOS just wins outright.
Yeah, I think you're completely right.
And so
about that.
what you do is you basically chase their Phoenixes to the corner of the map.
Yeah. Whoop. Right, here we go. Oh, I think that was the sentry. It's good to have 1 sentry with your Phoenixes as well. That is so many Phoenixes on both sides. Carrier on the way. Multiple carriers. I've seen people go Tempest as well. Actually,
I don't know
feel
if
like
that's that good, though.
well, the thing is, interceptors die really quick to the Phoenixes. Carriers are better against everything else.
I see what you're saying.
But what I like about the Tempest is they kind of pair well with the mothership, I think, because their anti-air range is like so far that you can take down your opponent's mothership. You kind of get those extra shots off. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people like the carriers as well. Okay, here we go. He's gonna come. He's gonna see that the carriers are being made.
Yeah, and this is. I kind of think that's what I should have done this earlier. But honestly, in Phoenix versus Phoenix, it's kind of hard to know what's going on.
Yeah, you don't actually know your opponent's
It's this weird thing where you're both in the dark, and so I think SOS played pretty conservatively. Okay, you just dumpstered that one, carrier. And the problem is, even though the Phoenixes are going across the map and killing probes over here now, I think that the momentum should be on SOS's side as he started killing stuff off first. Wow, that carrier dies so fast.
He's going a little bit slower with his pickups, though.
Yeah, I agree. This is a little bit alarming as to how kind of sluggish the movement has been here from SOS. I feel like he needs to immediately fork north and just take out the probes there.
Kill every probe, and then, well, the mothership, like, I don't think the mothership's going to be enough. 42 Phoenixes are going to, like, 2-shot the mothership. I don't know the exact number, but something like that. It's just such a Phoenix advantage. Dude, he has 94 supply of Phoenixes right now. Oh my god. Phoenix versus Phoenix, folks. Okay, there's the recall.
Now, damn it, 2 shots of mothership. That's so funny.
I know.
I knew it was going to kill it kind of fast, but not that fast.
But look, it's 44 Phoenixes against 20. It's like not even close, but
so
they're in these stacks where it might be hard for SOS to tell, I guess?
Yeah, if SOS had the information that we had, I think he would just go in here and massacre. Oh my God. It looks like Space Invaders.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Hey dude, it's Independence Day. Where's Will Smith?
Where's Will Smith, man? He's gonna have to get that farmer to fly into the carrier. He's gonna fly right into the mothership.
You want to redeem yourself in the eyes of your children?
Suicide into that mothership.
Yeah. God.
I don't feel like SOS is handling this correctly. But I think he wins this anyway.
Yeah, I think he wins, yeah.
I feel like he's
he's
playing
34
too scared.
against 19.
Yeah. But does he even need to micro like this? I think he's actually being too conservative.
I think he just doesn't know the numbers.
Yeah.
Like, if he knew the number of how many there are.
This is one of the problems that we normally have in a Brood War cast, where it's Muta versus Muta.
Can be a little bit
like
hard
the
to
end game of a ZVZ, and we look at each other as a Terran and a Protoss, and we're like, I can't count how many Mutas that is. Like,
you see those 2 pylons out there? Isn't that fun? Yeah, flies right over the cannon, kills all the probes, backs up both players at 30 workers.
Here we go! Look at the shadows of SOS's Phoenixes. It's like a monster changing forms. The Phoenicians blot out the sky. Now, I don't know if... honestly, guys, this has been one of the more difficult casts because it's just such a weird-looking game. I think he can come in here from behind.
Yeah, he's going to just... Look at this. It's so funny, the amount of damage.
Look at that.
It's just so many. Like,
the little interceptors come out like little baby Phoenixes. All right, look at this 1 sentry. Look at this. Look at this box art fight here.
I know. Well, the 1 sentry is actually
incredibly
pretty strong.
Good. Yeah.
Like, you actually really want a sentry with your army for this. It's funny though, because like SOS skipped plus attack for a really long time. He hasn't made a sentry. He's just like, nah, man. It's just about the Phoenix number, and he's been dominating the Phoenix number forever. But, and the thing is, Zoun runs up. I almost feel like the reason why Zoun is alive is because he's so brave. Because he keeps running up looking for a fight, and then SOS runs away. But really, if SOS ever took the fight, everything would die for Zoun. Oh, I think we're finally going to see it.
Yeah,
he's finally realized that
I think he's realized that, you know, he can't.
These lasers are so funny.
Yeah.
Look, he's got twice as many.
28 to 14. I don't understand.
But he's got way less workers. And like, Zoun, this is the strangest thing. You know what this is? Zoun is like the hiker who has unzipped his jacket and puffed himself up against the bear. The bear could go kill him, but the SOS is the bear, and he's like,
now,
I don't know, that might be another bear. Like, maybe I can die.
Yeah, right now, Zoun is standing up and holding his arms above his head, and SOS, the grizzly bear, is like, I think you're taller than me now.
It's like, oh, that's pretty scary.
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
My bear brain is confused.
Yeah, this is wild. The worker count for Zoun is
I feel like we're
serious.
watching a scene where Zoun is got a gun to SOS's back, but it's actually a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
You know? And right now SOS is like...
He's got +2 on that Snickers bar, but it's not enough.
Keep your cool, man. It's not worth it to die. And I'm like, oh my God, that's a candy bar! Armor's...
Plus air armor.
Plus air armor.
I mean... Yeah, okay. It's a good upgrade.
I never noticed it, but the air armor upgrade does kind of look like a Protoss shoulder pad.
Yeah. Well, airplanes have shoulder pads, right?
I don't think they do.
Huh. Why would it look like that then?
I don't know. It's for the pilot. SOS doesn't want to wear that airline outfit that he got in the intro. He's like, upgrade me. Wait, what is the air attack upgrade? So
+2.
Zoun does have +2, yeah. I don't know. Maybe we're wrong about the math on this. I just feel like you should be able to just
when you have twice as many,
him over.
He could be 3-3-3, and if you have 28 against 14,
yeah,
I'm fairly certain you still
snowball
win.
the game.
Like someone's gonna like test the 3-3-3 in 28 against 14.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You win by 1.
It's the top of Reddit.
Like, all right, guys.
Sorry, everybody.
But now he's got another mothership in here.
Yep.
He's still got that probe advantage. He's getting more upgrades. Like there are some good things going on. SOS is adding in that Oracle. Oh my god. That's a very good moment there for Zoun. And now he's only down like 9 Phoenixes. It's so different now. We live in a different world.
This game was won so many times over from SOS, but if you don't commit and end it, yeah, you've given them an opportunity to get out, to find a way.
If he watches this, if he loses this game and watches this replay, or the cast or something, or like the VOD, he's going to feel so
very
bad.
Depressing.
That's why you should never watch games you lost.
Yeah.
Because you're going to find out how dumb you are.
That's why Artos doesn't watch movies that make him sad.
Yeah, man. That's why I don't look at my losing replays.
That's right.
It's a sad movie.
That's why we never watched any of our own casts. It's just too painful.
Yeah.
Look at the mothership cast.
He's trying to get mothership.
Remember this?
Look at that damage. There's so many. Dude, Zoun is like...
SOS has not gotten any more upgrades here. The air armor's done. SOS is...
What's another, like, thing that took on something it shouldn't have? You, like, ever see that statistic that, like, 14% of men think that they can, like, kill a lion or something like that? I don't know. I read
there's a great Onion article, like, something like 90% of men overestimate their ability to win a fight, or overestimate their understanding of mixed martial arts.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I feel like we're watching that from Zoun.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at this point now, you look at the differences in numbers. It's not as big. He's got that mothership. He's got some carriers added in. He's going to be up. He's up 2 upgrades now. These are some significant things. Suddenly, we're looking at this and it's like, oh, it's not so one-sided anymore.
I can't believe this game is going like this. This is such a weird cast.
It is such a weird game.
So it's 40-27. Upgrade advantage still here for Zoun.
Yeah, and he's adding a lot of carriers now. It's quite the game.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. It does seem like if you have enough carriers, suddenly SOS will just
screwed.
This is how it ends. So, I mean, it seems like if you have enough interceptors, that's going to mess with the AI of the Phoenixes.
We have plasma shields now as well for Zoun. Like, he is up 4 upgrades. But actually, +2 should, yeah, +2 just finished. Okay, so it's just a 2 upgrade advantage, but it's like not attack, which is important.
Is Zoun going to actually push now? I mean, 5 carriers is quite a lot. It does seem like we're getting into some kind of weird uncharted PvP territory for these players. Like, this is what SOS does when this happens, but here's how Zoun's take on it, and we're going to find out by the end of this game which one is better.
Well, SOS did have kill timings in here.
Yeah.
Like, he had actually a big window where he could have won the game.
I think SOS somehow thought that Zoun was doing the exact same thing, but that Zoun then got a lead, and that actually isn't what happened.
If you attack and he has like 2-3 less Phoenixes and you're over his shield battery next to a Nexus and also a cannon, like, you're gonna lose that. So it's, yeah, I think he just,
I think this should be
realize
the
how
killing
good this
blow
was
here.
But hold on, he has 4 Tempest now and he has 45 against 30. Actually, I think SOS still can win this. I think he's still got it tasteless. Like, Tempest against Carrier or Mothership, watch how much damage these things do. It's silly. Oh, they just get killed by the Phoenixes before they can even do it. It's hilarious.
This is...
Oh my god. That's hilarious. Holy god.
I like your setup there, like, watch this tasteless.
Well, their damage against massive flyers is, like, crazy.
Oh, it's good, yeah, but... okay, so that might have been... one of the weirdest games I've ever casted.
Dude, if someone's got to tell SOS that he was up twice as many Phoenixes.
That was, you know, it's not normal that you have somebody, especially of SOS's caliber, kind of unaware of his own situation. This is what SOS has basically built his brand off of, is having the greatest awareness inside of an RTS game, where there's so many sandbox elements that only he can master and punish you with. But that wasn't one of them, and we are seeing kind of a conflict here of, you know, an old school veteran versus new young StarCraft 2 blood here. And Zoun came out on top, man. Let's see what happens in game 2.
Team NV, SOS. Alpha X, Zoun.
Well, that was a truly weird game there.
Yeah, that was up there. That was honestly difficult to cast. Normally, what we say kind of leads into what happens, but
the young pro gamer Zoun, too much confidence. SOS, too careful.
Yeah.
Overconfidence against over-carefulness.
Wisdom versus youth. This game, we have gates in the main. Obviously, this is quite a different map. It's going to be 2 gate right now for Zoun.
SOS, is he going to make a second? We're going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like he's not.
Yeah.
This has been a little bit more trendy lately. Some of these 1-gate openers, they've been kind of interesting to watch. Look at that. Sneaky little pylon there.
Yeah, that's a cute pylon.
Yeah, he sent the probe out like it was going to go into the map. And then
yeah.
Zoun will probably look all over the map
so
for it.
This is basically a red herring play. Is that he's telegraphed all the motions and behaviors that he showed Zoun was that he was going to run out and hide something. So this probe is now investigating what's happening on the map, but in fact it's hidden and tucked right inside of the natural. We've seen this a couple times in games. Terran and Protoss trying this, but look at this. He's going to see it. Wait.
No.
Oh, God. At the bottom of the natural is even bigger than I thought.
Yeah. So, good hiding spot, that's for sure. Zoun's still kind of scouting it out. Stalker will be popping out to kill the probe relatively soon here. Stargate on the way for Zoun as well. Does take that down. Now we can only hope that this goes into Mass Phoenix versus Mass Phoenix again.
Yeah, that's what the fans are cheering for right now. I can only imagine. It's probably hard for the fans to communicate with each other when so many people are just screaming more Phoenixes.
All 30 people in the audience.
Yeah.
All right, it's actually a Void Ray from SOS and a Nexus, which I really did not think would be the case.
Yeah, very cute.
The Void Ray it's like a defensive Void Ray for where that's spawning and the Nexus coming in. Whereas you see Zoun here, like he's pretty sure something's coming. Makes his own Void Ray. A defensive Void Ray without a Nexus. Is there anything sadder in this situation? SOS definitely with the advantage. Definitely with the advantage.
Yeah, both of them going for the Void Rays Artosis.
A much later Nexus, though.
So I like this a little bit more here for SOS.
Oh, it's way better.
This seems to kind of set up for a just a better momentum opening. But let's also see what happens with the poke here from Zoun. Because this is 4 Stalkers against 2. There's 1 battery.
And he's about to have a second Void.
Yeah,
a third Void even. Wow.
Wait.
He's not going to take any
Oh,
damage.
yeah, you're right. That's going to be a third. So, yeah, this is easily deflected, frankly.
Yeah, Zoun going to go for a Twilight here.
Now, is there any counterplay here from SOS with the 3rd Void Ray coming across the map?
I'm not sure exactly what the plan is.
It does seem like with these Void Ray builds, it's basically to set up to get into mid-game, you know? Yeah. But it looks like he's still pushing. Now, he's going to target down this Void Ray. And it seems like a bit of an overextension here. You know, SOS is... Oh, nice job. He kills that Oracle. Yeah. That's pretty big. Yeah, I mean, there's really no way SOS can push it and do any more damage. Obviously, the Warp-ins are going to be closer for Zoun here, so he's now chasing him back. What? Oh! What? What?
He can't see me down here. I'm like, no, it's the opposite. You can't see him up there.
Right, now Twilight. Blink's coming.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think it'll probably just normalize from here, but the opener definitely still much better for SOS.
And a real Phoenix is scouting for once. But I think he basically sees what he needs to see here. Unfortunately, you know, that Phoenix nowhere near as expendable. It is going to get away. Let's see. It looks like almost, in some sense, SOS wants to just match the Blink with his own.
Well, he does have that worker advantage from the quicker Nexus.
Right.
Just a better opener for him. But the third Nexus coming up right now for Zoun, we'll see. It looks like SOS is going to take his own third as well. And there it is. So yeah, I mean, it seems like the game is mostly going to normalize, and we'll just have to see where they want to go from here, right? You can go Blink Disruptor, or you can go into Charge. You can go Immortal Sentry here with your Blink, but it feels late for that. I think because the third Nexus already started and we don't have Robos yet, like the first Robos are just starting now, it feels much more like, okay, this is probably for Observer. Like, you could definitely make an Immortal or two, but I don't, like, with the way that this matchup is trending, I'm not sure that we're going to see, like, a dedicated, you know, Immortal type of strategy. Really showed that shield battery who's boss. Heal that shield battery. He's like, I can't.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to develop into frankly, a pretty slow macro game here. You know, both these guys, they had a little bit of a back and forth, a little tit for tat there, but it doesn't seem like there's any real reason to try to attack the other side here, so they're going to both sit back and get into a macro race.
Yeah, and Zoun actually gets his charge going and +1 attack a bit quicker. The Forge has been started for SOS, so certainly he'll get his +1 going. Yeah, it's a couple gases pretty quickly there at his third base, actually. Ah, okay. So we do have that Disruptor tech coming up. Although, I mean, in this game, it doesn't have to be Disruptor tech. It could actually be Colossus as well. It's like there's a possibility, but I think it'll be Disruptor.
Okay, this is pretty huge, actually. He's way outnumbered him. And this is just so many Stalkers. He's going to back up for a little bit. Now, there's no pylon to warp in.
Zoun actually has enough Stalkers to counter that. It's just they were spread out trying to stop harassment.
I was actually confused for a second when I saw those Stalkers come across. But not a bad little engagement there. Again, you got to be careful in Stalker for Stalker, because if you start to run away and you don't handle it correctly, their Blink Stalkers can chase down your Stalkers if they just sync the Blinks up with yours.
And now a lot of gates being added here, both sides. Zoun going for that Gateway Man style. He's adding in his own...
the Robo going to be a little bit later here for SOS. Oh, it's the second Robo, excuse me.
And it is going to end up being that Colossus tech. Kind of interesting to see.
And the Void Ray gets chased back again, losing its shields.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Who would you put ahead here?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Like, I actually like separate things about the way both of them are playing this. Like, I like how Zoun is quickly taking that fourth base. I like the charge, and look, he's getting into Disruptors, which are actually going to do well against Colossi, although Colossi are more steady damage against the Zealots. Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit Zoun favored, but you can get into these funny games where it's like lots of poking going on if you both have Disruptors, and the Colossus give you that little bit of extra range as well, which is kind of nice.
So SOS is going to be on the move here. No, he's going to back up, actually, and just take a fourth. A very, very quiet mid-game here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Disruptor plays a little bit better here. The Colossi, it looks good until you get one or two Disruptor shots. And I mean, one thing about Colossi in general, just the way the AI in StarCraft 2 works, nothing is more clumped than a Protoss army with a Colossus on top of it.
Yeah.
The opportunity for fatal damage could not be higher with a comp like this. So I'm worried that SOS is playing with fire here. Now, the thing about Disruptor is that you always have to kind of have a little asterisk by them is that this is only good if the shots connect.
Yes.
And it's not shot down. It's one of the units, I mean, inspired by the Reaver, basically, but it, if used correctly, can be devastating and give almost infinite value for how many shots it gives off. But if it doesn't connect at all, it doesn't have any impact or any benefit, I should say, on your side. So let's see how this fight goes with these disruptor shots.
Well, he has Phoenixes, so
yeah,
lift those up.
Well,
very,
these
very
disruptors
quickly.
just didn't do anything. So that was the moment we were watching for. And then not only that, but it looks like he's going to literally get every single disruptor. And I think this just seesaws all the way to the other side of the map. Decides to back up. The bottleneck with the rocks there is maybe a little bit too dangerous to try to move through. So the plan instead is to carve down the rocks over here and then try to break in that way when there's much more area here. And he doesn't have to attack that with his zealots. It seems like he's having a little bit of trouble controlling his army here. I think we're going to have disruptor shots synced up right as these rocks are destroyed. Get ready. Oh, psyched him out. That was sick.
Hilarious.
That was really smart. I really like that.
Yes. He almost hit his own army with that, but look at this. He lifts up, charges in here. There was a very nice flank set up by Zoun.
This is way too much from SOS. This game's over, it looks like. We don't have the disruptors ready to fire, but I think the Phoenixes are basically waiting for when that shot comes out to hiccup it.
Well, he actually gets one off and damages the Archons quite a bit. Gets one of them there with the second.
I think there's just too much here from SOS. I don't think it even matters.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they blink away from that shot. GG, we're tied up 1-1. SOS redeems himself. And yeah, it's like we were saying, you know, with disruptors, look, they can be good, but they actually have to hit their targets, and ideally more than once. And SOS muted that pretty damn quickly.
Yeah, having those Phoenixes in there, like if you can actually get the lifts off just right in between when they shoot and when they go off, it's a very small amount of time, but it's very doable at the pro level. And you just kind of negate them, and it's so worthwhile. His Colossi adding a ton of extra damage.
Yeah.
Higher quality army overall, better DPS coming out of it.
Oxide is where it's going to be settled. Remember, the winner will face Maru. Maru awaits. But the loser goes down to RagnaroK. SOS, one of the greatest Protoss players of all time, but right now trying to get back to his old self. And Zoun, again, the newest Protoss player here in GSL. Let's continue this story on.
Team NV, SOS. Alpha X, Zoun.
All right. So we have another map with a ramped natural, just like Blackburn. You know, you can just do those quicker expansions with the one gate. The probe's kind of delaying the Nexus a little bit, that type of thing. And, I mean, Stargate is very normal from this position. Could we get into Phoenix versus Phoenix again? That's the only thing I care about now. It's the only thing I want to see again.
I think we're not going to have any Phoenix versus Phoenix. By the way, Zoun definitely had a better handle on that in the late game, but it's weird that SOS seemed to have the opportunity and then just didn't. It's weird he got to where he needed to be and they didn't have the confidence to actually execute it. Yeah. But again, Phoenix versus Phoenix is weird. It's easy to not notice this, but the scouting actually gets really weird. You really are both in the dark in a way because all gas is getting dumped into Phoenixes, and you're not able to scout in a lot of the ways you normally would. So sometimes it's hard to get a good read, which is, I think, what we can chalk up to that SOS playstyle too.
So true, so true.
So there's a probe tucked in the bottom right here from Zoun, and he's going to make a pylon.
Okay.
And I'm assuming this is going to be a Stargate, but occasionally we have, you know, DT tech or something else weird put over here.
Yeah, it could be going either way. Some harassment going on here. Throws down that pylon. That's the block. Zealot is out to remove that. I think Zoun doesn't care about that much, though, since he did proxy the pylon. And throws down a Robo. Okay, so we're actually doing one base here.
All right, so this is basically a bust build. But you need to get rid of this probe if you're going to do this, because it becomes very suspicious. You see the probe that was sent to the expansionary. He's trying to behave like he's expanding. Dude, get this probe. I'm getting anxiety. Here we go. All right, finally.
Yeah, when the stalker got stuck for a second, I'm like, is there any way for him to jot out to the natural real quick and see no nexus? That would be huge.
This is a good scout, by the way.
Yeah. Sees the Stargate.
He sees that the build that he's setting up for is going to be ideal against what he's going against.
Ooh, 4 gates. So I think it's just 4-gate Prism then.
Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be an Immortal. Oh, dude. What do you know?
Okay. Wait a minute. Did sOs see that he saw?
I don't know, actually. It was, with the bushes there, it's kind of weird. Like, it's the blip on the minimap isn't there for that long.
Like, was he looking?
And even then, even the best players in the world sometimes don't catch that blip.
Yeah. So sOs right now, just making a void. That is, I think, exactly what he wants.
Now, this is, if it's held, sOs basically wins. If Zoun gets momentum, then he wins. So this is going to be a shorter game than the last two for sure.
Yeah, shield battery into the main base, so important. Pro patrolling, looking for this. Now he's going to get 6 stalkers up there pretty darn quick, but there are 2 stalkers and 2 voids in a second here.
If he can get the Warp Prism fast enough, okay, this gets elevated out pretty damn fast. And he is going to get the Warp Prism.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, there's enough probes here to actually really help.
Yeah, but he's also going to get that.
Oh! What's he going to get?
I actually didn't see the battery making there until it finished. That was insane.
Yeah, it does the recall.
This has been shut down. This has been, that's it. GG. sOs survives the attack and goes on to face off against Maru. That's going to be next.
That's a nutso match.
Hell
I'm very excited to see sOs Maru because...
Dude, I did not see that battery make it until right when that ended. I don't know. I thought it was like a pylon or something else. And then, damn, it's suddenly... The entire rush was shut down.
No, he knew exactly what to do in that situation.
I thought maybe he was going to have a battery closer to the minerals, but that makes perfect sense. You just need it right there. Yeah. You just have to hold the fight on the edge of your main plateau.
Very fortunate scout there from sOs on Zoun's all in.
We just saw Maru walk by him. Definitely going to be a fun match with these two.
Yeah, it really is. They really know each other.
I mean, that could have gone the other way pretty easily. Zoun versus RagnaroK is going to be a lot of fun. I definitely think that's Zoun favored too.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Zoun is favored there.
Guys, we got a short break. We come back, a match you do not want to miss. sOs versus Maru.